So how are you guys? I am back again with a very fun and exciting new video, which is, what if Naruto trained himself from the age of 6 and create name for himself? Before part 1 started, do like, share and subscribe to the channel and comment down your favorite part. Your one like and one subscribe motivate me to upload more fanfic like these for you all. So without any waste of time, now let's start the fanfic. It's not fair, a 6-year blonde boy muttered. The blonde boy eyes, which held so much pain, looked to the congregation of people surrounding the academy. Adults gathered around their children, praising them for their success and listening to their stories as they walked home. The blonde protagonist of this story looked on towards the people with pain in his eyes. The blonde boy was currently on a lone swing, starting back with his deep blue ocean eyes. Also his unruly and spiky blonde hair untamable and with 3 straight horizontal line across each cheek, and just wearing a black t-shirt with an orange spiral on the front and wearing a pair of orange pants. Naruto let out a huge sigh. It's not fair. What did I ever do wrong to the villagers? Why did they hate me? It's not fair. How come I am so rubbish and shinobi skills? It's not fair. How come I don't have any parents? That was the biggest thought running through Naruto's head. How come he was an orphan and had no one to love him? With those thoughts, Naruto got up and started walk back home to his apartment. Ever since he was 4, the orphanage had kicked out Naruto and refused to have him live there, saying that he shouldn't even be alive. These comments brought tears to Naruto's innocent face. However, not all was lost. The kindest person in the village gave Naruto a new home and would visit him quite often, nearly twice a week. That person was known as the 3rd Hokage and was currently waiting for Naruto to come home. As Naruto reached home and opened his door, he was greeted with a great sight. "Old man Hokage, what are you doing here?" Naruto shouted enthusiastically to the aged Hokage. The gray-haired Hokage looked at Naruto with a small smile. Some people might call this disrespect, but Hokage knew that Naruto only said that to the people close to him. Also, the Hokage took it as a sign that Naruto was still alive on the inside and he still was a child. "So Naruto, judging from your voice, you are happy with your arrangement at the academy?" Sarutobi questioned in a kind voice. But the old Hokage looked at the young vessel and knew he said something wrong, and his suspicions were answered when Naruto spoke next. "It's great, old man, but..." Naruto spoke hesitantly. "It's just not fair. I have no one. All the kids either make fun of me or beat me up." Tears started to fall down the kind child's face as he confessed to the Hokage all the years of pain bottled up and emotions were starting to be released. "There's a limit to how much a child can keep in. And the adults are worse. The parents all give me glares and the teachers just pick on me, making me look like a fool. It's not fair." Naruto was now freely crying and didn't stop. The old man felt like a real jerk for breaking the boy's spirit. So he got up and hugged him, telling to let it all out. After several minutes, Naruto had calmed down and now was just sniffing, with the Hokage taking his seat again. "Old man," the most powerful man in the village, brought his head up to look up. "I have been doing a lot of thinking lately and I have come to realize." Sarutobi looked up at Naruto with astonishment. He knew Naruto was not dumb, but right now he was showing great maturity. "That I need to become stronger so people can acknowledge me. You know what, old man, I have a dream." The professor had an even more curious face and he was wondering what Naruto was going to say. "I'm going to become Hokage. No, the best Hokage ever, surpassing the previous ones. Then everyone will acknowledge me." Naruto finished off with a huge grin. Sarutobi just looked at Naruto with surprise. Even after all his treatment from the villagers, he declared he was going to become the village protector. Sarutobi couldn't help but smile at Naruto's declaration. Hey, old man, please train me, please. See, I have no one else to be trained by. All the kids have parents or personal tutors. How about it, old man? Huh? Naruto asked with a passion. The 3rd Hokage looked down. "I am sorry, Naruto, I cannot train you. I just don't have the time to do so," Sarutobi replied dejectedly. In Sarutobi's mind, though, the real reason would be the council would just not allow him, and he was also taking into account the Yondaime wishes. Flashback. 6 years ago. Sarutobi coughed. "Please look out for Naruto for me." The Yondaime coughed more blood up. "Also, when he's ready, give him my scrolls to him." Sandaime looked at the young man with tears brimming his eyes and gave him a nod as to say, "Yes, I will." Also don't train him personally even though I want the village to view him as a hero I know he won't be so he needs to be strong by himself he needs to grow by himself, he needs to be strong from the beginning Goodbye old man, make sure you protect my home. With that the hero of Konoha died, and Konoha would never be the same. As one hero died another one was born. Don't worry Yondaime, I will. End of flashback. Naruto bowed his head down dejectedly. But that does not mean I cannot help you out, Sarutobi stated. Naruto's head whipped up at wicked speed that Sarutobi might have thought he might have got whiplash. So old man, how you going to help me huh? Naruto asked eagerly. Well, because I cannot train you, does not mean I cannot help you, Sandaime said wisely. Naruto being Naruto shouted back, you already said that old man, just tell me. Sarutobi chuckled at Naruto's enthusiasm. Okay, Naruto, just calm down. You see Naruto, it might be hard for me to get a sensei for you, so what I want you to do is to take this. Sarutobi reaches inside his robe and takes out a plastic gold-colored card. Naruto looked at it curiously, wondering what it is. You see Naruto, this card is your ticket into buying anything you want. All you have to do is show it to the clerk and charge it to my personal account. Now see here my boy, you must use this with a level-headedness. I am trusting you, not go and ruin my account, Sarutobi explained to Naruto in a calm voice. Don't worry old man, you can trust me, Naruto said with huge smile on his face. But how is buying anything I want going to make me stronger? Naruto queried with a confused face. Ah well my boy, you see here with this card you can purchase ninja equipment and books you want, Sarutobi replied back. Naruto, I want you to go this store, it's called Kai's Corner Store. You see Naruto, it's not really a corner store, the store is really a cover for up-and-coming ninjas to buy anything they want to do with shinobis. We cannot have enemy shinobis buying our books now, can we? Sarutobi lectured to the 6-year-old boy. Well Naruto, I hope that can help you, Sarutobi said in a soft voice. Don't worry old man, I will make you proud, said in a huge shout. Before the wise Hokage left, Naruto left him a parting speech. Old man, you have always been there for me no matter what, the one who's always been kind to me, you gave me home, you put me school, and now this. For that old man I am forever grateful. Naruto stated compassionately. Well Naruto, you are part of Konoha and it's a Hokage's job, no obligation to look out for everyone in the village. Everyone in this village is my family including you, so Naruto, your family as well. Sarutobi replied back with equal compassion. As Sarutobi left and closed the door of Naruto's apartment, you could see a silent Naruto crying tears of joy. Don't worry old man, I am going to make you proud, I promise, and I never break a promise, Naruto whispered to him. Self-confidently. Damn, it's already this late, I wanted to go to that store, oh well I guess there's always tomorrow, Naruto said to himself while rummaging his cupboards for a cup ramen. Ah man, only a vegetable one left, oh well ramen is ramen, hehehehe, giggled to himself while preparing his instant food. I wonder what I should buy with this new card, Naruto thought to himself. After pouring the hot water into his cup and waiting for 3 minutes. Damn, I hate these 3 minutes the worst. Naruto mumbled to himself. While eating his ramen, Naruto thought he definitely needed to get more ramen. But what about training? Maybe I should have asked the old man something, or maybe the person at the store could help. Then I will definitely get stronger and show people who I am really, and then they will acknowledge me. These were the thoughts of the young 6-year-old boy as he ate his food and went to sleep. Just as he went to sleep, Naruto announced to himself, tomorrow's a new beginning for Uzumaki Naruto. Beep beep beep, a loud sound was ringing through the room of a blonde demon vessel. Aw man, I hate that damn alarm, grudgingly said to himself. What, it's only 6:30, oh man, I left the alarm on, it's Saturday. Well, it won't matter anyway because I need to go to that shop and start my shinobi training. All right, here goes nothing, Naruto stated to himself. Naruto got ready and had a quick breakfast, as he was so excited he could hardly eat anything. He dressed in his usual clothes from yesterday as those were the only things he had. Okay, today is the birth of Konoha's Naruto said to himself, trying to think of a nickname. Oh well, I will come with something eventually. With that, a 6-year-old Naruto sped out of his apartment, not forgetting to lock the door, running towards Kai's store. Naruto was so happy and excited that he completely ignored the villagers' stare humming an off-tune song. Naruto squealed with delight at seeing the store and started to walk confidently towards it and entered the shop. It was really weird. It was like this store was out of some horror film where an unsuspecting idiotic kid runs into a store and gets chopped up into pieces. No one would think Naruto was horror buff, but hey, appearances are deceiving. "Excuse me, is anyone here?" Naruto called out while looking at the store. They had 3 dining chair but no table. What's the point having that? Naruto was thinking, man, I think I came to the wrong store. It's weird, how come I never noticed this store before? Naruto thought to himself as he looked around the creepy store. "Hey kid, what the hell are you doing here?" A gruff voice called out, of a tall white-haired dark green-eyed man wearing a dark blue robe showing of his muscular chest. Well, sir, was sent I mean." Naruto's words were all jumbled up because of the man's intense stare. He felt like saying, well, if you stop looking at me like that then maybe I could answer you, but thankfully he didn't. So he did the only thing he could think, which was take out the Hokage's gold card. After seeing it, the strange man looked at it and shouted out loud. "Oh, so you're the kid Sandane was talking about? Come in, you need to come to the back of the store to check out our special stuff." Hey, the old man said with a sadistic giggle in the end. "Well, as you know, my name is Kai. I run this corner shop. Take look at anything you want except the scrolls, of course," he said with a very business-like voice. Naruto looked around the large store with total confusion. He had no idea what to buy and what not to buy. So he did the most logical thing, which was, ask the store owner. "Hey sir, what do you recommend for me? I mean, I am only 6 years old," Naruto asked the man in an innocent voice. Well, why don't you start by getting some of Theseus books? They will help you throughout your life. Now let me tell you this kid, some people think these books are useless. Now let me tell you this Aegean, they are idiots and will never amount to anything. You can take these chakra weights with the manual, of course, and some of these shuriken kunai and couple karate suits, like the stuff Ryu wears from Street Fighter. Well, I think that's what you need. About now we do stock scrolls, but unfortunately we can't give them to civilians or academy students. Once you pass each ninja grade then we can give them to you. Well, seeing as these items are heavy, why I don't have them delivered to you free of charge. How about, kid?" Kai said this all in one breath. He also had this really sly smile and glint in his eye. Naruto guessed that he made his day by buying this stuff. Oh well, this is all for gold to become Hokage, Naruto thought to himself. "Thanks mister, you have been a great, and when I am Hokage I can make sure you retire early and live a sweet life," Naruto outshouted in a big voice. Ha, kid, this is my retirement, ha. Kai replied back while laughing out loud. "Oh well, whatever floats your boat. Oh yeah, old man, I will definitely be back for those scrolls and maybe some other stuff. Thanks a whole bunch," Naruto shouted back while running out of the store. Wow, once I get those books I am going to start training really hard, Naruto thought. Then I will show everyone who Uzumaki Naruto really is. Naruto thought this while running back to his house. I guess I need a signature weapon and technique. But how do I do that? Well, I guess those books will help me. I almost forgot, I need to get some food, Naruto thought frantically while running off in another direction. As Naruto came towards his door, he noticed a couple of people coming towards it. He saw a person dropping some stuff at his front door. Hey, are you the delivery man from Kai's store? Naruto asked eagerly. Also, you're the kid? Well, aren't you lucky that you came now? Well, here you are, the delivery is free of charge. Happy reading, kid, replied back a normal-looking man with a cap on backwards. As Naruto set his grocery down in his kitchen, he went towards to his delivery, moving away the weapons and chakra weights, which seemed to weigh absolutely nothing and that sparked his interest. Naruto then put aside his weights and looked at his books that stood there in all their glory. Yes, this is so kick-ass, I am going to read all these books as soon as possible, Naruto said to himself in an excited whisper. Well, let's see what these books are, Naruto murmured to himself. Charka for Dobis. The Theory of Element Jutsus. Taijutsu for Dropouts. Ninjutsus for Dobis. Genjutsus for Weaklings. Fighting Styles. Shinobi Weapons. Konoha History. Creation of your own jutsus. How to be the best shinobi. Well, they look like really useful for making jutsus. Naruto spoke out loud. Oh, I need to wear my weights now, let's see, Naruto mumbled to himself. With that, Naruto put on all his weights but felt nothing. Wow, this is strange. I mean, shouldn't I feel something right about now? Oh yeah, I should read the manual. Hey, I am such a dunce sometimes. Naruto, who chuckled at his own lame joke. Okay, it says here put weights on. Blah, blah, blah. Oh here we, Naruto mumbled to himself. While looking at the manual, it said you needed to pump a small amount of chakra into the weights. Only 1% each time or your bones might turn into dust from the intense weight of the weights. What the hell is chakra? Naruto confusingly asked out loud. Well, I guess I have to read the chakra book. It's a good thing I can read. Naruto laughed out loud yet again at another one of his lamest jokes. So Naruto spent 2 hours reading chakra for dobies and getting the ins and outs of how to use it and summon it. By the end of it, he real grasp of chakra. Wow man, why can't the academy instructor explain it like that? Then life would so much easier, Naruto shouted out in frustration. Okay, I guess now I can use these weights properly. I need to pump 1%, hang on, how much is 1%? Naruto said with a confused face. Naruto screamed out in frustration. Why couldn't he just give me normal weights? An annoyed Naruto continued his rant. Naruto went into his book and started to read it, trying to find a solution. When trying to separate chakra, it's best to think of it as a big box full 100 balls. If you want to take out 5 of chakra, you take out 5 balls, and if you want to take out 10 of chakra, you take out 10 balls. Wow, this book is really good, now I clearly understand this chakra mumbo jumbo, Naruto cheekily said. Naruto proceeded to visualize a big box with balls filled inside it and took out 1 ball. With that, he could clearly pump 1% of his chakra into the weights. But what Naruto did not count on was the sheer force of which the weights put him under. The weight was so much that Naruto fell to the ground in a heap. Crap, it feels like someone's pushing me down with all their weight, Naruto thought to himself. Okay, I have to get used to this if I want to be Hokage, Naruto shouted out in determination. After an hour or so of getting used to the weights, Naruto stood up and was able to walk. It was when he was walking he noticed a couple of pieces of paper, which seemed to be wrapped in plastic. What's this? Chakra affinity paper, huh? I wonder what this is. Naruto blurted out, holding out the alien object. Naruto held it up high. To Naruto it looked like ordinary paper. It says pour chakra into the paper to find out which element you lean towards. I guess I wonder what's mine. Naruto queried what element he could possibly be. When he poured chakra into the paper, it cut in half. Wow, it's wind, huh? I guess I ain't naturally aligned to wind, that is so cool, Naruto said in an excited voice. Now that the ninjutsu side of training was taken care of, Naruto could focus on his taijutsu. I guess I can learn any taijutsu style, I know that part is easy and I can come up with some cool moves, but what about a weapon? Naruto asked himself. Well, I always like staffs, they just seem really cool. I guess I could get one, but that would mean I would have to get a metal one, which would be super cool, Naruto stated excitedly. But what about genjutsu? I mean, I do have to learn those as well. Oh well, I will cross that bridge once I get to it. Dismissing genjutsus completely. I guess I should go to the old man for some wind jutsus and try and create my own jutsus. Naruto thought to himself, God, how many times have I written himself? In this chapter I got to find a better phrase. So Naruto spent at least 2 weeks reading the books and getting used to the weights. He had also gone to the old man to get some wind jutsus and other ninjutsus. Naruto's attitude on a whole changed. He no longer shouted out in class or made fool of himself according to one of his books, looking underneath the underneath. A shinobi should always stay silent and passive. It made sense, I mean, shinobi are supposed to be the silent killers. They weren't a bunch of rowdy samurai now, were they? Naruto's training had started him of doing basic chakra control exercises by trying to mold chakra. He had already mastered how to do hand signs already, all he really needed to do was speed it up. Going to the Hokage helped him out greatly, as the old man gave him a huge scroll of ninjutsu. He remembered how he got it as well. Flashback 2 weeks ago. Naruto came striding into the old Hokage's office, his head held up and shouting out his demand. Hey old man, I need help with my training, give me some jutsus so I can learn them at home. Naruto demanded from the Hokage. Well Naruto, I don't want to play favorite, I have already given you my card, which by the way you happen to be spending quite well. Plus I can't give a 6-year-old boy some high-level jutsus. Sandaime Hokage lectured the blonde demon vessel. Please old man, I need wind justices, because I found out that I have a high affinity to them. Besides, this will be the last time I ask anything from you. I promise, and I don't break my promises because that's my shinobi way. Naruto begged the old man before declaring his nindo. Okay Naruto, I am trusting you on your word, let me go to my closet and get the jutsus you need, Sandaime said to the excited child who was literally bouncing with joy for being able to get these jutsus. 5 minutes later Sandaime came out with a huge scroll that seemed to ooze of jutsus. Now Naruto, I trusting you to keep this safe, okay, the old Hokage told Naruto. Don't worry old man, I will keep it safe and master every jutsus there are on that list, Naruto proclaimed excitedly to the strongest leaf shinobi, who in return was smiling at the boy's enthusiasm. Flashback end. Man, was that hard to get the old man to agree to that. But now I can start learning this stuff for myself, Naruto stated to himself excitedly, while in a clearing he dubbed his own personal training area because no one came here. So Naruto's training became more intense. He was still on 1% chakra because he found it very difficult to adjust. His taijutsu style seemed to compromise of a bit of karate, kung fu and muay thai. He had gotten these styles from Kai's store as well as a staff form and a training staff, which he happened to have. He remembered Kai telling him it was odd for a shinobi to have a staff, as it was too long and not practical. To this Naruto exclaimed, I'm not a normal shinobi. But like many good shinobis, Naruto started create his own jutsus and taijutsu moves. It has been a month since Naruto's self-appointed hardcore training had started. A few people had noticed the change in Naruto. One, namely a scarred chunin by the name of Iruka, who used to blame Naruto for the death of his parents. However, over the past month Naruto had shown signs of intelligence and strength. He no longer craved attention, but merely stayed silent unless he asked a question. He remembered what had happened yesterday. Flashback. Yesterday. Okay class, today we are going to learn some Konoha history, Iruka announced to the class, and getting a collective moan from all the kids except Naruto, who oddly seemed to look, dare I say it, excited. Okay class, one going to talk about the Kokages. When Iruka had said this he seemed to have the whole class's attention. I mean, who wouldn't want to know about the greatest shinobis this village produced? Okay Naruto, let's see if you have turned over a new leaf, Iruka thought to himself. Okay class, can anyone tell me a fact about the Shodaime Hokage, anyone? Iruka asked the class, moving his head around until he settled on Naruto. Naruto, how about you, can you tell me a fact or two? Iruka asked the 6-year-old blonde boy. Naruto was literally sweating bullets at the stares his classmates were giving, almost cheering him on to fail. No, Naruto thought to himself, I am no longer going to be a dropout, I am going to show my true potential. Naruto took a big gulp and shakily answered, well, the Shodaime Hokage was known for his wood element jutsus and great strength, Naruto replied back fearfully. When Naruto finished his answer, half the class broke out into laughter, thinking the boy just made it up. Naruto, who thought he got the answer right, looked down in shame. Damn, did I read it wrong? I could have sworn he said he did wood element jutsus, Naruto thought to himself.